Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to do a deck profile on Bastion post D-BT03. So this deck doesn't really change much because this is my main Bastion build, which is the pure Bastion build that I own. I mean the first Bastion, because I have another Bastion deck and I don't really change that much because I don't really want to change the playstyle. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So for the right deck, first we're running the Knight of Heavenly Bow base, yes, as our base. Don't know what his base of, but you can run other starter too, but yeah, since this is a pure Bastion build, I'm just gonna run this. His effect is like other starters. When you go second, when you roll upon him, you draw a card. Simple as that. And then the grade 1, you have Knight of Heavenly Fort, Knight of Heavenly Sword, Fort Knight, whatever you want to call. He has 2 skill, but the second skill is not relevant. The first skill is that when you write the grade 2, which is Rooks, on top of him, you reveal 2 grade 3s from your hand, and if you do, you can check the top card of your deck. If it's a unit card, you call it, and if it's not, then you discard it. So if it's a unit, you just call it, but if it's an order, sadly you have to drop that into your drop zone. That's why this skill is kinda bad, but if it's put into your soul or put into your hand, that'd be broken. For the grade 2 of the right line, we're running Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks. He has 2 skill, but only the first skill. When you write Bastion on top of him, you can reveal 3 grade 3s from your hand. If you do, draw a card. Simple as that. So from the grade 1 and the grade 2, you got 2 free plus. And lastly, for the right line is the Bastion himself. First skill on Vanguard circle, all of your grade 3s gets 2k. Second skill is, at the end of the battle that your drive check reveals a grade 3, you can discard a card from your hand and stand one of your rear guard and it gets 10k. So it's kind of like a Surkaiser in a sense, but this one is better because it's more consistent than the old drive checking grade 3 skills. That's all for the right line, and now we're moving on to the main deck. So for the grade 3s, as always, like other decks, you wanna max your main boss grade 3, which is Bastion for now, because you need the persona, right? The skill is the same. So yeah, nothing much to explain there. We need the 10k front row buff, and the draw card really helps a lot. Next, we're running Knight of Broad Axe, if I'm not mistaken, Rafluk. His skill is on rear guard circle. Put this unit into your soul and choose one of your rear guard grade 3, and it gets 10k. So he's here mainly for the soul and the power, but yeah, mainly for the soul because you need soul. Next, we're running 4 of the Grand Heavenly Sword Alden, the pot of greed of the deck. His first skill is, when he's placed on the rearguard circle, you may Callbass 2 and Soulbass 1. Call a card from your hand, and if the called card is a grade 3, draw 2 cards. So this is the main engine of the deck, because you need to draw more cards. You need to draw your pieces and your, if not pieces, then it will be your shields maybe. And then his second skill is, when this unit attacks, and if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, this unit gets 5k. So meaning, on attack, he gets 5k, and then if he withstands with the Bastion skill, and then he attacks again, he gets another 5k. So meaning will be 2k, 15, so 20, and then 25 or 35 gets to 10k. So yeah, he's your main attacker and your main draw engine in this deck. Next we're running 3 Knight of War damage Falsado. He has 2 skill. First skill is continuous. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's effect. So this unit cannot be targeted like being retired. You can't target him. Prison cannot choose him. The only thing that chooses him, that makes him disappear, is by attacking, and that one order that puts back to the bottom of your deck, the sword judgment thing, the hold down swing of holy judgment, whatever. And his second skill is when this unit attack hits, counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. It says just hit, so it doesn't have to hit the Vanguard. You can just hit the rear guard and you get your sources back. This is your main source of the deck, him and this guy. So I'm running only 3 because my other Falsad is in my other deck. So I mean 3 is enough for me. Next I'm only running 1 Dark Strain because I have other cards to replace him. His skill is when you have 3 or more grade 3 units under the board, you can solve as 2, and all of your grade 3s gets boost. So this is a key card of the deck, but I have the other new order from the D-BT03, which is this order. So its name is Protector Pride. Play this with discarding a card. So you lose 2 cards from your hand because you play this and then you have to discard a card to activate it. And the continuous skill is Order Zone. All of your grade 3s can boost. So it's pretty much the same as your Dark Strain, but this one is a continuous, like on the whole game, like once you set it on your order zone. But again, this is an order card, so it might interfere with the right line of the grade 1. You might discard it, so that's a thing to think about. Next, we are running 2 of the defensive card for the grade 3s, which is Actual Analysis, Cocabiel if I'm not mistaken. Her skill is when placed on Guardian Circle, this unit gets 5k shield for every 2 grade 3s on the field, including herself. So if you place on Guardian Circle, and then your Vanguard, so 1, 2, so it counts as 2, so it's 5k. If you have a full field of grade 3, you have 2, 4, 6, you have 15k shield. But then if you drop another grade 3 from your hand, like maybe some unused grade 3s, you just drop on you just guard with it. It doesn't have shield value, but now it counts the grade 3 as the 8th one. So you have 4, and that makes it a 20k shield. Also, if you put 2 Cocabiel, this gets 20k shield from all the grade 3s, and then this one also gets 20k shield. So yeah. As for, I'm only running 2 because of the tight space of the other grade 3s I'm running. Next, we're running the not so new card from the D-BT03, Heavenly Bow of Edifying Guidance, Refuerzos. He has 2 skill, which is continuous on R. When you persona road this turn, it gets a boost for free. So you just persona ride and then you get boost. And then his second skill is on back row rear guard circle. Once per turn, if one of your rear guards restands by an effect, you may restand him too. So if you attack with the column, like you boost it first, like for example, you attack and then you use Bastion skill to restand him, and then he also restands. If you have like 3 on the field and then I don't know, somehow this gun rest and then you attack, and then if you restand, they also restand. It's not just the column, but I don't know what's the function of that, but I digress. Next, grade 3, we're running Soaring Dragon, Prideful Dragon from the D-BT03 set. His skill is, when this unit attacks, if you have 4 or more grade 3 units on the board, you may Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. But if you Persona Road this turn, you may give him plus 5k and a critical instead of drawing. So this card is like a finisher card. I like to use him on with the Reforzas. So it's like when they are at 4, you can just use his skill once to get the crit, and your opponent has to guard it at that point. It's a pretty risky card. It also says when it attacks, so it's not once per turn. So you can like first use the 5k and the critical, and then restand, and then attack again, use his skill for drawing. Lastly, I'm running the order from the D-BT03 set, which is the Form Up O Chosen Knights. Play this with Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Perform all of the effects below according to the number of your grade 3 units. 2 or more, choose one of your units, it gets 5k, and then 3 or more, draw a card, and then 4 or more, your Vanguard gets Drive plus 1. So this is a replacement for the old order, the Holy Hour of Judgment, Holy Judgment of Our Cometh, whatever, which basically is an order for Alden. The Counterblast 2 and then draw 2 cards. But yeah, somehow I like this one instead, because it's just Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 instead of Counterblast 2. And then, I mean, yeah, it draws you 1 card, but at least you get the other 1 card as a drive check, so it's basically drawing 2. Moving on to the grade 1s. So for grade 1s, I'm running only 3 PGs. I don't know why. Maybe I took one more spot for the grade 3. Probably it's the Prideful Dragon. You should run 4. But yeah, for now I'm good with 3, because even if I drew 1, I might discard it for the right deck. But yeah, so we're running 3 Aegis Mirror Dragon, like other Sentinels. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So meaning, so if you have like only 2 of these in your hand, you can just guard with 1, since it's 2 or less. And like guard, and then guard. So yeah, it's a cool mechanic, I say, because it does really make the difference to your hand, because this deck, sometimes when you guard, you drop your cards a lot. So if you left with 2 PGs in your hand, you can just go boom, boom, done, my turn, like that. And that's all for the great ones. Moving to the triggers. So for triggers, we're running 1 over trigger, the Keter Sanctuary 1, the Light Dragon DT of Honors, a Martinoa. Like other over triggers, they all have the same skill, which is when you drive check this over trigger, remove this card from the game, draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets 100 million until the end of the turn. And then if you drive check him, you get the additional effect, which is until the end of the turn. You also perform drive checks for the battles your rearguard attacks. So basically, when you drive check him for your other rearguards, when they attack, they get drive check. So meaning if you have a grade 3 on your rear guard circle, if they attack, they get twin drive because it's a grade 3. Yeah. So you get like 6 drive checks, like from the Vanguard, rear guard, yeah, 6 in total, or maybe 7 if you use the order that gives you drive check, or probably I heard like 8 drive checks. That only applies to the Pisto, maybe, but yeah, good card. Please run a March Noah. Next we're running 3 crits, and then 4 more crits, which is 7 crit for this deck. I'm running the new crit from the D-BT03, which is the Blade Feather Dragon. So its skill is, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted, put this card into your soul and choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. So some more fuel to your soul, and the 2k does make a difference. Nothing much to say about it. I'm using him mainly for the soul, I think, and then also if you use fourth skill to call the top card, if you call him, then it's good because you can just boost with it and put it into the soul, and you just use it for other skills. Next we're running 4 fronts. You can run 8 crit and then 3 of these fronts, but I like this fronts because its skill is focus. When your opponent's at grade 3, if you guard with her, the shield gets 5k shield, so it's a 20k shield. And I'm running 4 because, again, I only run 3 PGs and only 2 Cocabriel. So yeah, I need that defensive options. And lastly, we're running 4 heals. Yeah. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video.